Matthew Bennett, and I've been talking about Sambandha Gyan and the different categories of material energies, and I wanted to address the idea of karma. Karma is very well known nowadays, but there are many misconceptions about karma. Karma simply means action and reaction. And this is a principle that's accepted by the scientific community. It is not some mystic mumbo-jumbo from the East. It is a demonstratable fact. When you throw a ball against a wall and it bounces back, that's karma. Action and reaction, stimulus and response. That's all karma is. Karma is not predestined, inescapable factors that oppress us in our life, that we're locked into a particular modality or behavior or experience of life. We can look at karma in another way. Karma is like being on an airplane. It's traveling, and we're situated within the confines of that airplane, and there's a certain length and breadth to it. We can walk so far, we can do so many things, we can communicate in different ways, we can have different experiences within the context of that limited sphere. But it's a journey, and it's moving, and it's changing, and we can actually change our karma, we can transform it. Now, when we're steeped in the Rajarshic modes, we're often bewildered. Rajogun means bewilderment, distraction. It's the mode of passion. When we are steeped in tamasic qualities, tamogun, or the qualities of tamasic decay, we become depressed and occluded. Our consciousness is unclear. We mistake one thing for another. We're in ignorance, basically. If we can situate ourselves predominantly in sattvagun, we can rise above the distraction and the occlusion and ignorance of rajo and tamogun, and come out to a clear consciousness, a clear overview of our life, and self-awareness will dawn, faith will dawn, more joyful states of consciousness will begin to emerge when we clear those lower modes out of our lives. So from that point, we can adopt a type of lifestyle that will enable us to transcend our karmas. Now, our karmas, as I said, they're parameters, they're guidelines, they're a situation that we find ourselves in. Like in Vedic astrology, in India, they often do the chart of a child when that child is born. And basically, that astrological Vedic Jyotish chart, that's a snapshot of the child's karma at birth. It shows the particular placements of the planets in the houses and the types of karmas and energies that will emerge and develop and that the individual will experience throughout one's life. But these things are not set in stone. They can be changed by our conscious volition, by our choices. By making better choices about our life, we can change the quality of our life. Now, when you factor in spiritual activity, Dharma Buddhi, when Dharma Buddhi is awakened, the fire of internal intelligence, and one is able to actually make conscious choices. Every day we think we're making conscious choices, but oftentimes we're being driven by the modes, specifically Raju and Tamo Gun. They're driving us to make decisions. Our consciousness is colored, karmatmaka. It's covered with these modes, and so we're driven by the modes, passion and ignorance. But Sattvagun gives us more clarity and the ability to make better choices. So when we do that and we begin to live our lives consciously and adopting a spiritual lifestyle like a vegetarian diet where one says grace, one offers one's food as a mood of yogic sacrifice or spiritual sacrifice, that those foodstuffs become imbued with spiritual qualities and Shuddha Sattva. They begin to purify our consciousness. We begin to transform our life from the inside out. the types of food we eat are a big factor in our karmic experience of life because we're absorbing energy. So we want to make sure that everything that we eat has an absence of violence as much as possible. We want to adopt a vegetarian lifestyle and diet. We want to perform daily activities that are purifying in nature. This is called sadhana. If you can adopt a meditative quality of life, if you can spend a certain amount of time every day meditating, offering charity or service, giving yourself to others, seeing your life as a spiritual experience and a way of dedicating your heart, you'll be able to gain greater clarity and make more elegant choices about what things mean and how to direct one's life. All your actions will become purified, and you'll be able to change your karma, actually, in that way. Now, everything we do, everything we say, everything we think leaves a subtle impression upon the mind. These are subtle karmas. They're like seeds. And those seeds are laying dormant, the subtle impressions. They lay dormant within our subconscious mind. And when codependent circumstances arise that are fertile for the awakenment of those karmic reactions, the stimulus to allow them to fructify, when that takes place, then you have a fructifying of karmic experience. So any karmic experience, any experience in life is a karmic experience. And any experience you have, you'll see that there's an initial stimulus and there's a context within that experience is arising. And there will be your mental, emotional response to that experience. And so that karmic experience will lay dormant in the seed-like form and subtle impressions in the mind. Then when circumstances are favorable for its manifestation, it'll come about. You'll have a budding of the experience, then you'll have the full experience, and then you'll have the passing away of that experience. And as you go through that experience, you'll begin to see how you're responding to that experience and change the way that you respond to it. And in this way, you can transform your karmas. If it's a negative experience and you fight against it, then you lay the groundwork or the seeds for a further negative experience. But if you can see every experience as your teacher, or understand that every experience is the product of your own actions and thoughts in a previous time, that will give you the wisdom to deal with it effectively. Like there's an old saying, a good workman doesn't quarrel with his tools, or a good workman doesn't quarrel with his stools. When you eat, then you produce stools. So we don't argue with that, we just eliminate them. But if we argue with the effects that are coming in within our life, the context of our life, then we're fighting the reactions of our own deeds, which perpetuates the negativity within us. So we don't want to do that. We want to look at our life in a more elegant way, make better choices, and in that way we can begin to understand that every experience is a beautiful lesson in life and that we can grow from it and begin to make more elegant choices and increase the happiness and joy within our life. Because we're not victims of life, we're the authors of life. Our consciousness projecting upon matter is producing the effects of our life. And when we change the quality of our consciousness, we change our responses to our experiences, we change the quality of our life. This is what absolute abundance is all about. Thank you.